confess, by the time that farmer had cleared his entire field and put all the bales together, I was still strimming the edges of my allotment. So yeah, I could really do with some heavy equipment like that. But anyway, we got the job done. You can see here, we finally had a really nice change in the weather, and this week it's been changeable, but we've had quite a few days like this. So I've come up a couple of times this week to try and get a load of jobs done. There's been lots of activity up here this week, seeing lots of my allotment neighbours, which has been nice. And the jobs I've been getting on with this week, I've been tidying up, doing lots of strimming around the edges. I finished that raised bed I was putting together the other week with all the sticks in the bottom. I've been really trying to think about the slug defences, because quite a few things are getting nibbled. So I've been putting a bit of thought into that, using a bit of wool fleece for protection. Back at home, we've been putting lots of the seedlings out and trying to harden them off so we can get them up here. And I've also just had a really good tidy up because it was all getting a bit messy up here. So we're trying to get things nice and straight so we can start bringing things up and planting in earnest. Now, if you remember my £10 bargain greenhouse, last week we were racking our brains how we were going to move that thing. Well, the decision's been made and we're going to actually keep it where it is, and I'm just going to take on a tiny bit of that plot so we don't have to move the greenhouse. And as a little bonus, I've managed to wangle a free shed as well, because there's a shed right next to it which nobody wants. So I've now got a shed and a greenhouse, lots and lots of wooden stakes and things that were in the greenhouse, all for £10. So I'm feeling like a winner this week. Anyhow, this is my little diary of the jobs we've been doing this week. So I've managed to completely fill this now. The bottom portion is wood and waste, kitchen waste. I've lined the sides with cardboard and then I've filled it with topsoil and compost. I'm going to plant some carrots, some parsnips and some nasturtiums. So in the new flower bed, I've just planted up a load of sunflowers, but they look like price slug food to me. So I'm going to try something different. I mentioned a while back that I was going to try using some wool fleece as a mulch, as compost, and hopefully to deter slugs. And so Nick reminded me last week to get the stuff out of our old dog food packing and bring that up. So I'm going to put this around the edge, and hopefully that's going to stop the slugs attacking this little bed. I haven't put it around all of the snapdragons because they've just stayed untouched. Slugs don't like those. So I've just put it around sunflowers, and we've got more rain forecast, so more slugs. So in about a week's time, there'll either be sunflowers still standing or nothing at all. We'll see. Here it is, a little bit wonky, just like the greenhouse, a little bit rough around the edges, but it was free. So I'm going to take it. Oh, that is not bad at all. There you go, my property empire is growing. So here's how it looks at the end of this week. We've got quite a few improvements. I'm feeling really pleased with it this week. So everything's now covered in the onions. Hopefully we won't get too many pests in there. I've got the sunflowers in, along with some snapdragons and some verbena. My potatoes have come on really well. I'm really pleased with those. And all of my salad leaves have come up really nicely as well. I think I'll be able to start eating those. I've finished my little raised bed and I've got parsnips, carrots and nasturtiums. I've put nasturtiums all the way around, so hopefully they'll flow over the edge. The ranunculus are still getting savaged. I'm not sure I'm going to get flowers on those. And then my garlic and lettuce are looking quite happy as well. And then this end has just had a big old tidy up. We've put our these were a gift, these little little mini greenhouses were a gift from a friend, so I'm going to start filling those up. And had a bit of a tidy up down the end here because it was getting a bit chaotic. I'm going to get rid of those tyres, don't want to keep those on the allotment. So yeah, pretty pleased with how it's turned out this week.